Jesus freak here. As you can probably see, my box fan's running. And I took the plastic bag off my air conditioner, so you know what that means. I haven't turned the AC on yet. Haven't had to, thankfully. But it was getting pretty close to air conditioner weather already today. I'm recording this, it's still Tuesday. Now, another thing about when the weather gets like that, I mean, I like to keep my hair, but it's just not practical. So I cut it before the weather got annoying. We're coming up on Pentecost. That's next Sunday. I don't know if I'll do anything specific to it. I've thought about it. Just my regular video will probably be all I do for it. But I actually started to try to record myself reading the selection from Acts 2 in multiple languages. I was reading it in Japanese, it kept tripping on my tongue. I'd probably do the same if I was reading it in Spanish or Portuguese. I'm not even going to try reading it in Dutch. Those are all the languages I got besides English. They've been giving me a little extra food stamps lately. Because of the current situation. When I figured out what was going on, they usually tell me when they're updating the amount of food stamps I'm supposed to get. I usually get a letter in the mail. I didn't, so technically I'm supposed to still be getting my old 202, but they've been giving me 232 for several months, and they've been apparently topping me up about halfway through for a while, because all of a sudden, the couple days ago I checked the balance on my card, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to have over 200 left still. And I checked it against my last receipt, and it was exactly $95 higher than it was supposed to be. So I guess that's what they've been doing, giving an extra, $95 partway through the month. I said, now that I'm aware, yeah, probably wasted a little bit of it, but I did a major shopping trip yesterday. But I tried to focus on practical stuff. Now, I don't tend to buy a lot of non-perishables for two reasons. The first is stuff that comes in boxes is usually some of the worst stuff for you. The other is stuff that comes in cans. Well, every time I try to open a can, She loses her mind. Yeah, well. The extra money also lets me, both get better food and, be willing to be a bit more experimental. Spend a little bit on this or that and see if I can make something for myself. Like the other day when I made the taco spice from scratch. Anyway, we're going up and down between, proper May weather and weather that's more fitting of late June or early July. At least at this point. The temperatures are at the point it's pretty much shirt sleeve weather every day. And doesn't go between, oh, I wore a t-shirt yesterday, but now I gotta wear a sweater. That drives me up a wall. And it's been like that for a few years, but, when I was a kid, it was never like that. Yep. Gotta play the hand you're dealt. Anyway, the other day I was heading up to Tops. Bought some groceries. Came back and my former neighbor called me. He said, my daughter saw you earlier. Or were you out on Military Road? I said, no, I wasn't. That I thought she worked on Military Road. I said, apparently not. She told me where she worked now, and I said, oh, I know where you're talking about. Turned out she thought she was working at some place and was working somewhere else. And she's actually working right down the street from me. Not going to go into more detail about that. That's a little too much to talk about if I go any more than that. I've stopped my self-imposed ban on public transportation and hired transportation that I've had since the lockdown happened a little over a year ago. And since then, I've taken a cab home from the supermarket twice. That helps because as yesterday, I went shopping. I bought $100.64 worth of groceries. There's no way I would have walked that home. $5 for a ride, I can dig that. And maybe in the coming months, start maybe going up to Beacon a bit more without having to rely on Pastor Brett. or maybe even start going back to Ollie's by myself. Because it's not hard to get to, it's just I can't drive and they're too far to walk. I don't like to ask favors of people. That comes from being raised to look out for yourself and not try to go for a handout. Which, yeah, I know I get handouts. I don't actively seek them. If they're offered to me, take them. But I don't actively go looking for them. That's how I roll. Anyway, Jesus freak out.